Do you know what level you are in French? Well, let's find out which category you fit in. At the end of this video, I will show you where to test your level in French and how to do it, so keep watching. As always, there is a support guide available with this lesson. Please click on the Join button if you want to access the guides. The CEFR, Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, is an international system which measures the level of different language abilities. It is split into 6 different subcategories. These ones. It was created to categorize a language learner's level in order to help with language teaching and testing. As it is international, the CEFR qualification is recognized throughout the world, making it easier for employers and educational institutions to evaluate people's language abilities. For example, being assessed a B1 level in French allows immigrants to work in Canada. Unless you plan to learn a language for work or study applications, knowing which level you are is not ultimately necessary. It may, however, help set a learning target in order to see progress and be encouraged to carry on learning. So, what do these levels mean really? Let's see which one you fit the most in. The following sentence illustrates A1 level. Listen carefully. Bonjour, je m'appelle Alexa. Je suis française. Je viens de Bourg-en-Bresse. Je suis professeur de français et j'habite en Angleterre. In terms of listening, at A1 level, you can understand everyday expressions and basic sentences to help you get by in everyday situations, buying bread at the restaurant, etc. When it comes to reading at A1 level, you can recognize simple words and guess the meaning of certain predictable text. As for speaking, you can use simple, everyday, basic expressions and interact in a simple way. If the person speaks slowly and clearly, you can probably introduce yourself, such as the one I've just done, such as the sentence I've just said, answer simple questions about yourself, ask where the toilets are, order a drink, etc. So, this is A1 level. Now let's have a look at a sentence from A2 level. Hier, j'ai fait du vélo avec mes cousins parce qu'il faisait beau. Mon ami américain est rentré chez lui. Il reviendra me voir l'année prochaine. Or you could also say, je suis revenu de France il y a 3 jours. A2 level is the second stage of the CEFR basic user category. At A2 level, talking about everyday routine is easier and clearer. Sentences become slightly more complex. New tenses are also introduced to help speak in the near future and the past, such as in this sentence. Hier, j'ai fait du vélo. So this sentence uses a passé composé, which means yesterday I rode a bike. But you can find the future tense in il reviendra. So knowing tenses at A2 level is really important. As for the listening skills at A2 level, well, you can understand frequently used sentences and everyday expressions on topics such as family information, shopping and employment, etc. You're also able to understand simple questions. As for reading, you can read more easily more complex texts covering a wider range of topics. You're able to differentiate a present tense from a past tense. And when it comes to speaking at A2 level, you can use simple everyday expressions related to everyday routine matters. You can describe your activities in the past, such as the one I've just done. You can also describe a family member, age, physical characteristics, background, environment, and what they did over the past weekend, etc. You can also ask simple questions. So what makes the next sentence B1 level? Look, je pense que créer plus d'espace pour les enfants en ville est une excellente idée. Or, vivre sans la télé, de plus en plus de jeunes le font, mais moi, je ne pourrais pas. At B1 level, it is the first stage of the CEFR Independent Language User category. If you are a B1 level, this means that you are no longer a beginner. You know enough to be able to build more complex sentences in order to communicate. However, you are not fluent and not quite able to engage in a conversation with current affair topics, for example. When it comes to the listening at B1 level, you can understand and take part in simple conversations about everyday situations, work, school, leisure, etc. As for the reading skill, your reading is more fluent and you can understand texts about more complex topics but not quite current affairs yet, such as this sentence, vivre sans la télé, de plus en plus de jeunes le font, mais moi, je ne pourrais pas, which includes a negation, a conditional tense, and a comparative. So, what happens with the speaking at B1 level? You can travel with confidence and make yourself understood using a wide range of descriptive vocabulary, adjectives, and various tenses. You can also talk about events, dreams, or ambitions and give opinions on various everyday topics. What about B2? B2 level sounds like this. Listen carefully. Malgré le fait que nous ayons des points de vue différents, je comprends ta position. Ou la pandémie a fait des dégâts dans le monde entier depuis qu'elle a commencé. Well, B2 level is the second stage of the CEFR Independent Language User category. This level represents the learner who is able to communicate in a more fluid and spontaneous way using more idioms and complex sentence connectors and tenses. So when it comes to the listening skills at B2 level, you're able to understand the main ideas of more complex and abstract subjects, including more specialized fields. When it comes to reading, you're able to read detailed text from different topics and give viewpoints on current affairs. As for speaking, you can use a wide range of vocabulary and speak with a degree of fluency and spontaneity. For example, in this sentence, malgré le fait que nous ayons des points de vue différents, je comprends ta position. Here, there is a subjunctive, which is very tricky. Being able to converse using the subjunctive puts you at a higher level. Now, reaching C1 level is definitely a superb achievement. You will be able to read and say sentences like these. La série Lupin fait un carton dans l'Hexagone et à l'international depuis sa sortie sur petit écran. Or you could say le parti d'extrême droite a essuyé un échec retentissant aux dernières législatives. C1 level is the first stage of CEFR Proficient Language User category. At C1, the learner is able to follow a conversation fluently. However, there may still be some expressions or words that are not quite grasped yet. As for the listening, you can understand a wide range of topics. You can also recognize idioms and implicit meanings such as the one in this sentence. La série Lupin fait un carton dans l'Hexagone. Faire un carton means to have a lot of success. Understanding when to use idioms is very important and shows your level of fluency. As for the reading at C1 level, you can read books and understand more complex text. And for the speaking, you can express yourself fluently using colloquial expressions and well-structured detailed sentences in most situations, professional, social, and academic. So you may ask, what about C2 level? C2 is high, and to be honest, I think even some French speakers are not at this level. Can you understand this? L'utilisation de l'article 49.3 de la Constitution peut permettre l'adoption d'une loi sans avoir recours à un vote. Well, C2 level is the second stage of the CEFR Proficient Language User category. At C2 level, you can understand pretty much everything and speak like a native. So for the listening, you can listen to radio, TV programs and conversations with ease and understand complex idioms and nuances. As for your reading skills, you can read complex text and write using a wide range of complex tenses. And what about speaking? Well, you can summarize in a spontaneous and fluent way any accounts and information from diverse written text and spoken conversations. So, after this explanation, which level do you think you are in French? Okay, let me show you how you can access a free test that will test your level in French. All you need to do is type learnfrench.com. Here we go. And then you click enter. And here you've got the Learn French with Alexa website, also known as learnfrench.com. In order to start your test, you go to test your level. And then you will see different levels. A0, which is the complete beginners. We've established one before A1. And you may want to start with A0 to see whether you manage this one. And when you manage this one, you can go on to the next level. So let's have a look at A0 level. You click Je commence, I start, and you're going to go through the test. For example, this one. Can you guess what the answer for this one is? Nous, français, être, sommes, suis, est, ou, je ne sais pas. Well, if you know how to conjugate the verb to be in French, you will know that nous comes with some. Yes! I've managed. I click on the next question. Tu, un chien. Avons, avez, on, a. Well, if you know how to conjugate the verb avoir in the present tense, you would know how to do that. So, tu as un chien. And I click on the next level. Now, this one is slightly more difficult because it implies that you know a little bit about partitive, infinitive, and definite articles. So let's have a look at this one. Il y a table, fauteuil et chaise dans la pièce. Well, I would say il y a une table, un fauteuil et des chaises dans la pièce. Chaise is plural, therefore it can only come with des. Now I've done my 10 questions, so let's have a look at what my score is. I'll click next. Bravo, you aced the A0 level. Actually, it's not even worth talking about it. Why don't you move on to the A1 test now? There you go. And have a look. So I have Alexa telling me that I've aced it. I've aced the A0 level and I need to move on to A1 level, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. So why don't you have a go at it as well and move on to each level? The bottom line is that if you try to do the test from A0 to C2 level, you will realize what it is you're missing and which grammatical points you may have to review. And this test is perfect for that. That's it for me. Leave a comment to tell me what level you are in French after you've done the test de niveau at learnfrench.com. Au revoir. À bientôt. Subscribe, leave a comment, do whatever it is that you need to do. Bisous, bisous.